forward in prayer. Gracious Heavenly Father, Lord God, we thank you for another glorious day you've given us. Heavenly Father, thank you just that we're able to get together, Heavenly Father, and work in your name. We thank you, Lord, for your love, your grace, and your tender mercies. Heavenly Father, I pray you'd be with us now as we go to our meetings. Guide us and lead us. These things we ask in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll have roll call. Please answer with an affirmative. Warren Fleetwood,
Present.
Mary Key,
Here.
Ken Montgomery.
Present.
And we have a quorum.
Excellent, thank you. Moving right along to our approval of the minutes, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our previous meeting.
Well,
Go ahead. I would say we got already previewed them on our email.
right, yeah. I've read them. I didn't see anything
Now,
that was, so I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made in a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of the claims. I'll go ahead and read those claims for everyone. Thank you, Mr. Watkins. CAW 1, $6,254.40. CAW 2, $5,075.07. ACH $71,603.34. Sheriff $5,205.46. Highway $85,831.49. The courts $2,678.15. County General $80,642.89. Sir and will tax distributions $74,512.22. Excess refunds and ditch claims $2,460.38. CVET distributions $202,670. LIP distributions and FIN and fees paid to state $551,487.50. Ditch claims $3,098.80. Jury claims $2,012.25. Payroll deductions $153,934.22. Additional payroll $240. And the payroll $341,983.73. I would ask for a motion to approve the claims at this time.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made in a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. On to the treasurer's report. If we have a report to bring about this evening.
I sent these to you. These are just for acknowledgement.
Yeah, I looked at them.
Yeah.
So that's all that's needed with that.
Clerk's report.
And that is what I sent you also.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkins. Commissioner's old business. We have at the top of our Commissioner's old business, the mask mandate. And at this time, I would ask that the commissioners consider aligning with the CDC recommendations. The CDC, as of May 13th, 2021, made a recommendation. It was an update that fully vaccinated people no longer need to wear a mask or physically distance in any setting except where required by federal, state, local, tribal, or territorial laws, rules, and regulations, including local business and workplace guidance. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to lift the mask mandate in our county offices and county properties.
Well, I'll make that motion. I've been in contact with the judges and they're ready to do away with it. So
We have a motion.
Second that.
And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Taking mine off.
Now you can breathe again.
Yes. No. Nothing worse than having allergies and having a mask across your face.
Next item, agreement for economic development between the Gibson Council and Gibson Solar LLC. I discovered a few issues with the document, just questions that have come about from reading it. One of my chief concerns is just that along with the Elliott project. I noticed some easement issues. I've consulted a few of our in-county experts, if you will, regarding the matter. And I've also reached out to Jared Pitts, the vice president of the group, and Mr. Pitts agrees that we can meet this coming Thursday and maybe hash out some of the inconsistencies or concerns that I have. But at this time, I would ask my fellow commissioners to table the matter until we have some more answers in regards to some of these easements. Just don't want to get in a hurry and
Get in trouble.
I ain't get in trouble, right?
Well, I'll make that motion if it need to be made a motion.
Well, I didn't notice it myself, but I don't want to. It kind of went along with what I had already heard. So, yeah, I'll second the motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And just so you know, I have turned the easements over to our attorney and he's going to look them over too. It's kind of in regards to a document. They had sent us a document probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And were wanting us to move it along quickly. And I just respectfully told them that we were going to need some time to look at it further. And that's kind of where we are on that. Gibson County Corrections Center, I have an update for us. Mr. Sanders is not here with us this evening, but just a short update. Based on the meetings with the stakeholders, they prepared the architectural program for the facility, submitted the program and meeting minutes to the sheriff and staff for review and feedback. They've been evaluating the program against budget, wants versus needs, evaluating the program against current Indiana jail standards. They've already contacted local utilities, no significant hurdles at this time. They've also developed design options for the project, location, the configuration, the scope, and the estimates. Meetings have been scheduled with the Executive Steering Committee for June the 3rd for high-level overview. In addition, there's been approval to proceed with the selection of a construction management firm, May 4th Commissioners meeting. Another update on the project, the RFQ and RFPs have been sent to 10 construction management firms. And the RFP and qualification selection process will consist of 3 stages. There's a stage 1 where they receive the RFP responses and evaluate the respective qualifications. Those will be due June the 7th. Stage 2 is a short list of the firms based on an in-depth review of RFPs based on qualifications to be completed by June the 14th. Stage 3 is an interview the finalists and make a selection for the construction manager, and that's June the 14th through June the 30th. The present selected CMC firm, or to present the selected CMC firm for approval, that'll come to the commissioners on July the 6th. And then to present the proposed design concept for the correction center with a confirmed scope, cost, and location scheduled July the 6th. Start design, development, and bid document preparation sometime in July. Mr. Spindler, I'll turn it over to you for any further updates or information that you might have regarding some of the members and stakeholders in this project.
Thank you. Okay, so since we're gaining a lot of traction on the new jail and with the strong desire to keep community stakeholders, government officials, owners, operators, and others in the loop, it is recommended that we form a couple of different committees. Those committees that are recommended are a steering committee and an advisory board. So I'm going to go over the roles of those committees. The role of the steering committee is to provide governance and related direction that ensures delivery of the project's overreaching goals and objectives, and the achievement of project outcomes. Members include representatives from the governing county bodies with a significant stake in how the project is managed. Thus, key concerns on the project's scope, budget, timeliness, and methods used. In practice, steering committees also do the following. They act as an advocate for initiatives and the project's well-being. They set the strategic direction of projects. They assure the project meets state and local statute policies and governance procedures and takes on the responsibility of liability. The steering committee also provides advice and direct input on budgeting and timing. It establishes project goals and the overall scope, as well as determines how success will be measured. The steering committee assesses and approves or rejects project plans and changes to the project plans. It provides guidance in selecting professional services experts to support the project. It prioritizes and reprioritizes project deliverables. It monitors the project process and plans. It resolves conflicts between parties. It monitors the project quality and adjusts accordingly. The advisory board is a body that advises the project representative and steering committee. An advisory board is an informal group of stakeholders who are unofficial but provide any advice that might be pertinent from their respective areas of responsibility in the community and/or operations. They provide a fresh eye perspective of the project. So the proposed members of the advisory board are myself, Jeremy Overton, President Warren Fleetwood, Eric McGraw, Tim Bottoms, Matt Holden, Mark Unghoon, and Bruce Vanoven. The proposed members of the steering committee would be President Fleetwood, Jeremy Overton, and myself. I would ask for that to be voted on tonight if that is the inclination of the commissioners.
I'll make a motion, we go with that.
Since this is brand new to me and any parameters, I will not second this. I'd like to study it further.
I will second it.
It has been moved and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay, however you want me to say it, no.
The ayes have it 2-1.
Before we go any farther, George Pickersgill brought me a paper. The employee of the highway department that got his thumb taken off, they're taking from Evansville to Indy right now to try and reattach it. They just left at 5 o'clock, the ambulance did, so. That don't sound good, so.
I'd ask everyone to keep him in your thoughts and
Yes.
concerns and his family, and they're gonna need it. Thank you for bringing that up, Kenny. Commissioners, new business, the engagement of Barnes and Thornburg, Brad Bingham as bond counsel for the jail project.
You may take this.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I've got the proposed contract from Barnes and Thornburg. So the requested action tonight would be to engage the services of Barnes and Thornburg and terminate any existing services pertaining to bond counsel on the project. So I would need a motion in favor of doing that. Do I have a motion to that effect?
So move.
I have a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
And I didn't mean to bypass our department heads or anything. Do you have something for us, Mr. Johnson, or?
I'm just gonna let you know, I've decided that next week we're gonna start filing all the milling roads. There's a bonded road that we had behind that we're gonna repair. And then the week after we come back from Memorial Day, we'll start shooting, so.
Did you want to bring up the loader, the new loader?
Jason, about that, we're gonna wait
Okay,
on that. So
okay.
I'll talk to him about
all right.
Very good.
it.
Katie's got something over here.
I have a question for the health department because Diane couldn't be here. She wants to know, since she lifted the mask mandate, if she can stop the screening at the courthouse then.
Yes,
Yes,
and I would say open up the north doors because there's no need for it, being locked if they don't, no screaming.
Well, I think the judge's request would be that we keep it locked down except for the south
Okay,
basement entrance,
Well, that's
because once
fine,
they
then.
get the security system, that's gonna be the only entrance anyway.
okay. That's fine.
Thank you.
And were there any other department heads that wanted to report early on this stage? Anyone else have anything for us? Okay. Let's move on to the Addiction Solutions Corporation. I believe we have with us tonight, gentlemen's going to talk to us about this program and what it has to offer to Gibson County. Welcome.
Thank you. So I came one of these handouts, flyers. You got one of these?
That'd be great.
We got enough of them.
Yeah. Sir. I give you one right here, right?
Yes, yes, you did.
So my name is Kevin Heavy. I'm the program manager at the new recovery house here in Princeton for Addiction Solutions. It's a recovery house for men only. We have other facilities in Vincennes, men's house and 2 women's houses. And we also have a co-ed place in Albany, which, we accept the women at either one of them from this community to this county. I opened here December the 26th. I had my first resident. I've got 4 guys there now. I've got 30 beds. I'm just been having a hard time working with the courts to get people from jail and literally help them to come to the recovery house, people who want it anyhow. I've been to probation and talked to them. Our program, it's a 9-month to a 1-year program. It's a nonprofit, faith-based program that, we require the residents to go to church on Sunday. We have a Bible study the rest of the time. It's a 12-step program. We have meetings every night. They are required to go to work. They can start work immediately. They're required to pay rent, do chores, try to teach them, the basic skills of to become a productive member of the society again. The thing is, we want to do is to offer them as a structured environment, so they don't get out of jail and go back to the same people, places, and things. That's where they always think that they get out of jail, that's where they gotta go back to. And it's never is from that point. So we offer them that structured environment where they can get a job, go to work, have a safe place to come home to, teach them the 12-step program, work the 12 steps, get a sponsor, work with a sponsor, and work in the program. I went through the program myself in Vincennes. I'm a recovering addict, alcoholic addict. I've got 2 years sobriety in. I went through the program in Vincennes. I completed the program, graduated it. So it does work. Comes from Knox County down here to off of this county, the community, same thing.
I want to begin by congratulating you on your sobriety and also want to extend to you, appreciate what you're doing to help some members of our society that may be facing some difficulty. So greatly appreciate what you're doing there. Can you tell us the advantages over what you're offering versus like traditional incarceration or traditional community corrections? What's the difference that you think that kind of makes you stand out or really help these people to make that transition from, incarceration back to, being reliable, responsible and functional citizens, in this case in Gibson County or in any county as far as that goes? But what's your strength? I think,
Well, it's because the main thing is because when you get out of jail, you go back to the same people, places, and things that you were doing before you went to jail. You know, hanging around the same people, doing the same things you were doing. Here, you know, we introduce you to new people, going to meetings, being in recovery. People that's not doing those types of things anymore. We help you get a job and provide that structured environment where you don't have to be around those people.
and community and friends are really important, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the old saying is you're gonna be who your friends are within 2 years. I tell my kids that all the time. I hope some of it sinks in, but typically who you associate with or hang around with, you're gonna be in 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, like I said, when you get out, when they get out of jail, they don't have nowhere to go. You know, a lot of people don't have nowhere to go. Anyway, and so even people that's been in prison for a long time, you know, just working a program in prison and doing good, when they get out, they still don't have that structured environment to go back to. They go back to their family or their friends that are still in active addiction. It's real easy for them to fall right back into it.
and when they come to your house for, like, what kinds of services do you offer them as far as like group talks and, you know, like, what do you guys do when you sit down and talk to these people and try to reach out to them and hear their problems, hear their trials and tribulations? Do you guys have talks like that and sit downs and?
We have, meetings every night. There's not very many outside meetings here in this community, right now. But we have an open meeting on Friday nights, for the public, and then we have our in-house meetings. Every night of the week at 7 o'clock. You know, they usually don't get off work until about 6 o'clock, come home and have a meeting at 7. And then they get a sponsor to a deal with one-on-one. You know, it's where they work with 12 steps and when we get down into meat and potatoes of it.
Are they required to attend work or work somewhere when they're in your house? Are they required to hold a job while they stay with you?
Yes, yes. It's a nonprofit organization where they have to get a job so they'll be able to pay rent because, that's who pays the bills. Right now, I've got 4 guys there, so the other facilities are paying the bills up there. But it's not bad, it's $165 a week. There's a $100 intake fee. Everything's been provided for them. I mean, food, hygiene, laundry soap, everything. This community's really been great. It's supportive. Recovery house. They donated all kinds of everything that we need. I mean, people come there with just a backpack of clothes. I even got a store where they can, if they don't have clothes, you know, use clothes that they can, we can help clothe them and give them the attire they need to go to work.
And for the record, you're not coming to the county asking for a handout or anything. You're just wanting to spread the word to folks and let them know that you have this resource and to let the community know that if you have someone troubled in your family or in your community, that there is help.
Absolutely.
There is help close by.
That's been everything.
Now, is this up at the old church on Emerson Street up here?
Yes, sir.
I thought that's-
East Emerson.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we've, like I said, Addiction Solutions has been in Vincent since 2018, and the executive director is Todd Kohouse, the director is Chrissy Hannell. They were both in addiction, and the recovery, their recovery dates are, Todd is 8/20 in 2015, and Chrissy's is 8/18 in 2015. And this, the Addiction Solutions opened up in, April 2nd, 2018. And then one in Albany opened up 1/1/2019. And so it's been growing pretty quick,
Mhm.
but recovery has a revolving door. You know, we've had 25 graduates and, you know, over these last 2 years, which probably 5 of those 25 have been reoffended, you know, in some sort. There's probably 5 people that we know of. We don't keep track of every one of our graduates, but the people that we're closest to, there's probably 5 of them that relapsed maybe not, they're not back out like they were, before they came to the recovery house, but they're probably slipped back to drinking. They've got a year in sobriety and they're all back to taking the thing, but they're not out there doing the drugs. That's not, that's not the way we want it to be, but that's just the way it is. Okay. Recovery's a revolving door, the simple thing is that you don't want to, if you don't want to get sober, then you never will. No matter how much your family begs you, or how many times you get arrested, you don't want it, get it. But we provide that, environment to help you get it. And help you teach you the skills and give you the tools you need to do it. You just have to want it.
It's my understanding you're not affiliated with any particular religion or religious group, but you also ask that they attend church.
Yeah. But for the first 30 days, they're not allowed to go anywhere without an accountability partner. Go to church. I go to church here in Princeton, to the New Life Church, and for the first 30 days, they have to go to church with me. After that, and they can go to whatever church they want to. After 30 days, they're accountable for themselves to need to go out on their own, like 2 hours at a time or whatever. After 30 days, you're eligible for a 4-hour fast. 60 days, you're eligible for a 24-hour fast. I haven't been in any other program. I've heard about the Lighthouse and some of the other programs that have been since. The only thing I've heard about, about the Lighthouse is from people that either left or got kicked out. From all I've ever heard was the bad things. I'm sure it's not all bad. I'm sure the Lighthouse has been around for a long time, and there's probably a lot of good people that come out of there. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about that program or any other program. But we're a lot easier from what I understand. It's just going to work, teaching them the basic skills, learn to do the small things, how to build shorts, learn how to wash clothes, cook. Surprising that people have never done that or just don't know how to do that. So we teach them all that, and like I said, the 12-step program, and get them with the sponsor to get down and meet and potatoes of it.
Kevin, I have a couple of suggestions, and I'll help you out with this. You may have already explored it, but Judge Craig has a drug court, and he has a drug court team consisting of probably 5 to 8 individuals that work with defendants going through drug court. So you should talk with them, and I will too. I know Lisa Moody is on that drug court team. Abigail Cox, she's the chief deputy prosecutor. She's on that team. So I will mention this to them tomorrow or Thursday when I see them at court. I think it's also something you should, and I'll talk with the attorneys about this, the local attorneys representing defendants. It's something that you should advise them on, so they have that tool in their tool chest. I see on here the drug screens. How frequently are they screened at your facility? It's something the judge and the.
We'll test them when they come in to establish the baseline, and then we monitor them. We randomly test them.
Okay.
If we suspect something, then we will. If we're not suspecting anything, we just pick somebody to take a random test, and it's worked out for us pretty good.
Is it done in-house or do you outsource the screens? In-house? Is it urine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 14-pound.
Okay.
I have reached out to them. I've sent some acceptance letters from people who reached out to me from the jail. They first about me through some other people and reached out to me, want me to send them an application. That's another thing. They have to fill out the application to come to our program. Once it's accepted, then I'll send an acceptance letter to their attorney, which he will take it to the court. That's the way I was told it had to be done. The attorney has to present it to the courts.
Would you take somebody that's facing charges? So prior to disposition of their case, do you take those people on, or do they have to have all of their criminal matters
As
resolved?
long as they don't have any outstanding warrants.
Yeah.
We can take them.
Okay.
The only ones we don't take are people with outstanding warrants, registered sex offenders, or if they're not able to work, then, you know, we can't take them either, because it's a nonprofit, and they're the ones paying the bill.
I got one. Can I ask one question?
David?
Upon getting out of jail, most of them are unemployed. So what if they're not employed? Do you have something that you can help them get a job with? How hard will it be for you to get that person employed?
I've got, connections with a couple of different temporary agencies here that agree to hire anybody that's in the recovery house. So, I mean, as long as they got a social security card and an ID, they agree to give them the chance.
Kudos to you. Sounds like good work.
You know,
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. We're gonna try to get the word out there as much as possible and let people know there's a resource. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Corey Taylor with the Owensville REH Center. Welcome.
Thank you. So, again, my name is Corey Taylor, currently sit on the town board of Owensville. I'm actively a part of the REH board to help them maintain the REH center here in Owensville. I've come before you guys to request financial assistance. We have a few, what we would consider large big projects and you guys. Not sure. We're actually got a couple of preliminary quotes that total just under $28,000. I do have copies of those. You guys would like to see that. One of the major ticket is we're looking at using Halflake hardwood floors out of Indianapolis to come in and refinish, sand it down, refinish it, repaint it, and put a new coating on the gym floor. I'm not sure if you guys know a whole lot of the history of REH Center. I didn't. I grew up there. I went to the old Owensville schools until the third grade, but didn't really know a whole lot of the background. But it actually was one of the second built sunken gymnasium in the United States. The first one was out of Illinois by Ralph Legeman. He designed it. There's actually an article that was published on February 20th last year by Stadium Journey. It's entitled "The Man Behind the Sunken Gym and Many Memories." This man built quite a few of them over Illinois, Indiana, Michigan. But it says that we were the second gym built. These preceded actually the Robert Stadium here in Evansville. So these preceded that, led to that design. The other, one of the, what I would consider, I've been in the construction industry for the last 18 years. And what I would consider maybe one of the design flaws in it is the soffit, the awning that overhangs both sides of the gym, concrete. I've never seen that. And so it's been there, I don't know, in the 50s, early 50s, 1953. So it's getting along in age. And so, concrete can last a long time, but it will go down. So we are looking to repair a few of those. They're totaling about $8,600 is the estimate we got. So Not sure what you guys can do. We obviously in Owensville are very proud of it. I think the county can be very proud of it. And we are working to upkeep it, maintain it. And I know our Parks Board is trying to help with that as well. Our town board is trying to help fund things, but 2 years ago, we had some water damage and damage to floor. And we've done some minor repairs to mitigate it, but long term, we need to do a full repair on it. So we can maintain its longevity. Again, I've got copies of these quotes if you would like them. But I remember everyone on the board and okay, it's up here. Okay, nice to meet you. So, any questions? I'm not necessarily expecting to tonight, obviously, but I would appreciate your consideration and help.
Well, first and foremost, I commend Owensville, Hoxton, Mount Olympus, those guys that have worked their tails off for years to maintain these buildings for the public. And you guys have done an awesome job. I've only been in the building a couple times, but passed it a lot. But you guys worked hard for years to maintain that building and make it useful for the community. And I commend you for that.
A lot of the main activities are kid related, you know, baseball, all the activities. We have a membership that you can go down there, and family membership will get you walking. You'll be able to walk around it. For exercise, you'll be able to use the gym floor. It's a good maintained facility, and we want to keep it going.
Well, I appreciate you forwarding that on to Ms. Vore, and we'll take a look at those numbers and then just like was mentioned there, it's good, great building, a lot of history there. And I know for a fact our highway superintendent's coached many a bitty ball team there, and I have too over the years. So it's well used, and the community and the county gets a lot of use out of that building. So. And you're saying the grand total for your improvements is $28,000?
Currently, it's 27,410. That's the two quotes we have added together here.
Yeah, please forward those to Ms. Vore, and we'll take a look at those, and maybe we can get you back here for another meeting.
Sure, absolutely.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you. Scott Martin, ditch certification.
I'm submitting my ditch certificate tonight. This is required for me to do every year, June 1st. For Indiana Code 36-9-27-4. Then that requires me to classify all of our regulated drains that we have in the county. Either classifying as in need of reconstruction, in need of periodic maintenance, or in need of being vacated. And you'll see on my cover page there, I've got several drains there listed as in need of being vacated. Over on the second page, it's got our top 10 drains that are in the need of reconstruction. And then through the other pages of broke down, each ditch broke down, the class of each classification, but it needs to be vacated, reconstructed, or periodic. We had 341.20 miles of regulated drain in the county. I think about 116 miles are just Pigeon Creek, Upper Pigeon Creek. And you see in the top 10 there that I have listed, a lot of those are sub basins of Upper Pigeon Creek. So the majority, like maybe about 6 or 7 out of the top 10. 53 or sub bases of 53 that are probably in the worst shape. If you go, like I said, if you go back through this, you can see it in each broken down into each classification of each ditch. Got that described in detail about this. And, so I'm submitting this to you tonight, and per meeting the code 36-12-15C, I'm requesting approval for $4 per mile regularly drain certified. And as it is each year, this money is already in the 2021 drainage board budget. So no additional, so there would be no additional requirement for an additional appropriation. So that's what I'm asking you tonight, is the approval to collect $4 per mile of regulated drain certified. That's part of that. That would be the 341.
Is that the same rate you collected last year?
Yes, the miles did not change.
Okay.
Which it stays pretty close to that. I think a couple of years ago, there was regulated drain. Usually stays right around that. It would be the odd case that the county takes in a regulated drain. Many of these regulated drains, they date back to the early 1900s through the 60s. I don't know when the last one that's been taken in is, besides that took in a short regulated drain that was in a single watershed. And that was pretty easy. But other than that number pretty much stays right in.
We need to make a motion to pay that $4 or,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we do.
yeah, it's already there.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I mean, this is an annual
Right.
thing.
But we still need to
And
do it
my
by
IC
motion.
code,
Yes.
make motion, yeah.
Well, I want to make the motion, we pay that $4 a mile for his assessment.
I'll second that.
Excuse me, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, major medical leave. Mr.
We have
Wilkins?
2 major medical leaves. I have reviewed them and they are all in order. Paperwork is in order. Just need your signatures for those, please.
Okay.
And need a motion to approve.
Sign them first, Mary.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve the major medical leaves?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Made in a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And let's see here. Laura? Like to come forward? Sure.
Here, your last meeting, I talked about Coal Branch Library. And look at this one. I'm Laura Hoppy. I'm the director of the Coal Branch and Hillside Libraries. And this is Crystal Smith. She's the treasurer. If you have financial questions, she's here back. So when we spoke 2 weeks ago, we discussed that our patrons want in-person programming. We discussed that our patrons come to use our physical resources, and that the library requires better space to accommodate. I talked to you about the Fort Branch campus, being the Carnegie Library and our Learning Center, 2 separate buildings. And I pointed out that our campus consists of the Carnegie Building, a Learning Center, and a home that we purchased, which is now green space. And I came to you 2 weeks ago to ask for assistance with the land purchase so that you can own half the lot. Your response to me was, we would like to see the complete package. So, hold on. There's another. So this is our current campus, and if you see Main Street and Locust Street, I have both pictures of the same, so you can see that the addition, let's see if I can. Oh, I can't, I don't know how to use the right thing, so the Learning Center, you can see that there will be an addition around the complete Learning Center. This leaves the Carnegie Building completely untouched, and there were many reasons that we're at this point. Is because our Carnegie Building has a total of 2,500 square feet, and of that, only 1,800 square feet of it is public space. And the amount of money that it was going to take to connect those buildings did not really, it was too much money to get to too small a space. And so we have decided that we will continue to use the Carnegie as office-based genealogy, and we have some other plans for it as well, that we would add the additional space onto the library. So we use half of the Learning Center at this point for our books, and I had pointed out that that center table with 4 chairs is child size, and that's really the only place all the other desks in there are circulation desks. So this is the proposed layout. So you can see the amount of bookshelves, seating space. We're going to incorporate our computer lab into the library. We're going, and we brought in space because in South Gibson, the Fort Johnson and Union Township, those students all are provided with tablets at school. So they don't necessarily need public computers, but they need a place to come and plug in and get internet when they're not at school. And so we provided space for that. Currently, there's children sit outside the library on the lawn to get the internet. If you see up in the right-hand corner, that is the programming room that we currently have our books in. So we utilize that full space. This is Locust and Main Street in Fort Ranch. So our Learning Center. Really wish I could use this right away.
John, can you help?
Middle button, right, the big one in the middle.
Right there. This is the Carnegie that sits behind it. So you can see that this building will be as tall as the Carnegie. And I'm gonna skip that one for now. If you look at the front, that's on Main Street, it really mimics Carnegie. So it's not a building that is gonna look out of place sitting next to a Carnegie library. If you continue around the building, so this would be between the library and the gymnasium in Fort Ranch. There's a drop-off space. Right inside that door would be the activities room where we would have our preschool program. It's also got book drop-off so people don't have to get out of the car. And it would also be a great place. We have a lot of patrons that aren't unable to get out of the car, so we bring their books to their car for them. To be a great place for us to be able to visually be able to see those people pull up and provide that service. And then this is the green space that we currently have. We'll continue. There's another opening into the children's area, and then the door further down is our current library space. So, money, cost. Bottom line is $2,620,000. Now, so the land purchase is in there, and then I divided it up with site development for fees, contingencies. And then I put all the furniture, bookshelves, and everything on the far right. As far as furniture, our current furniture, we don't have much. And to fill that space, and we definitely don't have seating, so that would all have to be new as well. We are asking for TIF funds to help assist with this. So we're needing your recommendation for that. The board has looked at it. This is definitely preliminary drawings, but this is an architect that is out of Bergman. They have built many libraries. Bristol and I put many miles in our car. We did interview the architects, but we interviewed their customers. We went to those libraries, we had the director give us a tour, talk about the problems they had with their different architects, so we were very comfortable. This architect continually gave people more space for their money. So that is why we're looking at this. The overall space addition is gonna be about 7,200 square feet. Any questions?
Is this included in the information that you gave us earlier?
It is not, but I can get this to you.
But I would appreciate to, see that.
Would you like, what, pictures of layouts and everything? Tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you.
Well, somewhat, so like, because you have, like the 570 in for furniture and shelves and that, it'd kind of be good to see. Just one of the, I don't need everything,
Okay.
but kind of do a comparison of what we do have and what you wish for.
As far as, bookshelves, the bookshelves we're currently using, we purchased from Lagodi Library when they moved.
Oh,
So they're already secondhand.
right.
Um,
Well, just in that schematic that you had on there.
okay.
You had a lot more bookshelves, which is great, but it kind of, if you had that, can kind of compare to what you have right now.
Okay.
And to me, giving a better overall visual of your wish list.
Well, I appreciate all the work you put into this, and it looks like you have a nice layout, and, architecturally, it's aligning with the existing Carnegie building. That's a plus. So I think you've done this in a tasteful manner and in a way that will serve a lot of youth in our area. So kudos to you for your work and your progress on this, and also including the funds. So I like the project.
Thank you. Thank you. This is something we've been working on for about 3 years. This isn't something that we thought to do 3 months ago. That was part of our move out of Carnegie into the other library, was to get it more accessible. And then, people are seeing that we don't have a place to sit down. And so this is 3 years. It took us well over a year to pick out an architect. So I just want you to know how much work it has really gone into.
Well, I knew you guys have been working on this for quite a while. Now, you'd have to go back to the figures. That included the demolition of the one building's gone, right? But the other building isn't.
So this 170,000 is the land purchase and then.
And demolition.
And demolition.
Okay.
So we are looking at other funding sources. We had a meeting with USDA today, actually. So we have a meeting on Thursday, meeting at the state library. They are trying to bring us down to those whole public paper buildings.
Oh, that's great.
So
Yeah.
we are looking for other sources, yeah. But this is the scope of the whole project.
Right. You've definitely done your homework.
So would you need me to email all that to you?
If you would, I'd appreciate it. I don't know, I'm sure these guys would too. So that we just have everything, we can have everything in front of us.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have anyone else here this evening to come before us?
I have a presentation here. If you don't have a hard copy.
Well, mine's on my desk. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
But if anybody else wants one, I have questions also.
Well, thanks for letting me be here tonight. This project has also been in the works for several years. This is the Owensville Carnegie Library in Owensville, and I have with me tonight, Rob Mindermark is on my board. Thank her for coming. We are a 1917 building with no major improvements at all, so we are not ADA. We have obtained the land around the building now, and we have a great bandstand that a lot of kids use and a lot of people use. This is a picture that I just put in there for fun because it's from probably 1920 maybe. Some of the points I want to talk about. We serve about 4,000 people with Montgomery and Wabash townships, which are probably two of the biggest townships in the state. Wabash Township is the famous in the state where they accounts for only having 30 people.
Which they always have a hard time believing.
Yes, yes, and I am a proud product of Wabash. I just barely missed going to the last school there. Library is an important part of the local community. Like a lot of other small towns, we've lost a lot of things going on, but we are very busy with people coming in all day for not just books, but other things too, faxing, phone numbers, information. One of our missions is to work very closely with Owensville Community Schools. If they have anything literary, we're there. We work at their book fairs, we work at the reading carnival. We buy World Book online and provide it to the teachers for free. We make sure that they have all the access that they need for that. We provide training for that. We're working with the Owensville REH Center to archive and copy and digitize the extensive Chart Museum, which means we are pulling all the paper products, paper information from there, copying it, digitizing it. It'll be on our website and hopefully on an REH website in the future. We're serving the community in a lot of ways. After the tornado we had a few years ago, we had people in there with interviews. We coordinated who needed what. So-and-so needs an oven, this so-and-so has an oven. We moved all things around. Starting in June, we're going to have a market twice a month in Stillman Park, which is the Library Square. And then, as you all know, libraries are crucial to literacy. And literacy is the foundation of success, personally and professionally. So this is what our friends think, and I'm so sorry that's so small, but an elevator is at the top, kitchen is at the bottom. And this is a lot of people have told us what they want for our library, which was no surprise to us. Okay, space. This is one of our 3 places to keep things. It's the only one I will show you in public. And that picture is strategically. This is one of the spaces of 2 that we have in the building that we can acquire very soon. And it is probably the size of a 4-car garage with a garage door. We can go over there and just roll over it. Programming, we have no programming space whatsoever. Everything is books or storage. And this is just one of the programming places we have potentially at the new building. And it is a beautiful space. I can't wait to have showers and meetings and different things in that. This is the skinniest bathroom in Gibson County, and you can tell. You cannot put a yardstick ladder in it. And this is a hallway that goes to that bathroom. There's a stair right here that has to stay there, a step. I don't know that you could even get to that bathroom in a wheelchair, even if you could get in the bathroom. One of the things we're looking for in our new building across the street is an autism room. A sensory autism room, which we will have special colors, special equipment, special things for kids with autism. We're also hoping that will also be a multitask room for story time, tutoring, and playtime in a quiet room. We're really looking forward to that. I'm going to tell you, I have the best children's library in the state of Indiana, and she is all about this. And we just really can't wait to start this. This is the bare bones addition that we're planning. This is way smaller than what we had hoped for in the beginning, but with the potential or the probability of buying the parish building across the street, all we are going to add on is an elevator, and an ADA toilets with a door. That is the best bang for our bucks, because we can add so much money or so much space and ability with this addition across the street. This addition right here on this library will fulfill all our needs. So the project cost is buying the additional building across the street for $184,000, and the ADA addition, which I just showed you, for a total of $834,500, which is under what we would have our original addition. Plus, it's much lower. It's probably half of what it would be if we added on all this with construction. So this is what I'm asking for help with, is the $834,500. This is going to give us virtually everything we need, and we'll all be in the same place. It'll be very close together, and we're just so excited about adding all these wonderful things to our community. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
Existing buildings, the one across the street, Parish,
Yes.
is that ADA compliant already?
Yes. Definitely. And not to mention the fact that it's got all the bells and whistles, you can imagine every
Technology.
technology available.
How much square footage will that add to it?
We'll add around 3,600 square feet, about double our size. Our original Carnegie is about 3,500 square feet. If not all, some of the storage, but most of it is.
So on the parish building, other than moving things in, is there anything that you would really have to do to it immediately, or?
There is a carpet that needs to be replaced for two reasons. It's got a rip in it. And the second reason is we're going to use that as a steam room, which means drips and spills. I think it needs to be something size carpet. And that is a very small, I mean, it's not very small, it's probably a 20 by 20 room. I've already talked to holders and they can get it done.
I'm glad to hear you're not gonna put carpet in. I'm not a fan of carpet, especially I mean, I am in my house in certain spots, but not in public buildings.
Right, and this will be something that, we want something indestructible, not indestructible, but very high.
As close as you can get.
This is where we'll have art classes and cooking classes and the steam for the kids. And they'll be doing, explosions. And
Right.
whatever. Yeah, we need something that'll,
Is all this included in that packet?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was, but I wasn't sure.
what I gave you.
Okay, I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure.
One question.
You absolutely can, neighbors.
Is that the parking lot behind that building? Or is that just the parish building itself? I'm aware there's an old parking lot back in the corner.
No, that is not where the old red and white is. This is
So,
just the
On
center.
this plan, the only thing I would suggest is just, in my opinion, you have businesses uptown on that square.
Mhm.
So parking can be an issue. People block parking. There's people that live up there on the square in apartments. So when you get to putting that parish building there, I mean, you've got all these people blocking the restaurants that are open. I'm just mentioning, without that parking lot, where are they gonna park? They're probably gonna load up in front of a cafe. They're gonna load up in front of City Hall. Has anybody thought of parking in any way?
Well, I sit in a window in the library and look out that window all day long, 5 days a week, and have for 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay, I was just concerned if anybody had.
And if you'll notice, you've been there, how long have you worked on the main square?
I'm just not
No, I'm
referring to
not-
the square, but I've been there quite a
You've
while.
been there quite a while too, and you've seen the traffic that we have at the library.
Right.
And even if you double that, you anticipate any problems in parking?
As long as they're not blocking businesses in the people's apartments.
So it will be a business there.
Right. So I was just seeing if you had thought of parking. I wasn't trying to get in a shooting match here.
Oh, I'm
But
not- I'm not trying to get in a shooting match.
sometimes you'll end up drawing another issue somewhere else just with
Right.
parking. I mean, I'm sure people will have enough respect not to block people's apartments. See, that's the tricky thing about that square is it's not just businesses there, there's apartments on.
Are
the
those
too.
apartments, let me ask you a question, are those apartments assigned a spot on the square?
No, that is public parking, but I'm just letting you know that you could run into a problem.
It's a good question. It's a good question. And now's the time probably to air any questions that we might have. Is there any other, are there any other concerns or questions regarding this project or?
I would just give it a consideration. Consider parking.
Oh, yeah.
There could be an issue with a person coming home from work or anything, and they can't get in their apartment. Some of them can park out back, some of them can't.
Well, most of our, I mean, we'll have some things at night, but most of them are during the day.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've never noticed that, especially now that Parrish is gone, Parrish Consulting has moved their operations to Princeton. I've never noticed that there's ever been a problem. We have parking, as you know, a double row of parking in front of the buildings, a double row of parking spot by the library, we have parking in the center. We, as far as the library goes, I'd say we have some of the best parking in the library I've seen.
Mrs. English, additional question. What is the assessed value on that building or do you know what?
The assessed value on the building. I'm gonna pull a number out of my head, I might be wrong, but it's less than $900,000 and that includes the land.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
On the library.
On the library.
Oh, yeah, I'm just speaking about the parish building, I'm sorry.
Oh, that one I can't.
Okay.
I don't, it's not in this, no, I don't have the parish one with me.
What's the address? What's the address for, you asked for the assessed value?
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
What's the address for Parish or?
One,
I don't remember, I
it's
couldn't tell you what it is.
105 maybe,
It'd be in my
something.
number.
Is that going on? I think it's going on.
Yeah, I was putting
113,
a
I believe.
paperclip back on.
Try 113.
113.
Yeah, it was 5 and 7. I started to go to apartment schools.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Put in the official name and you can pull it up that way
Yeah,
too.
I got
That
it.
was one question
I
I
would say
didn't
it's
know.
113.
Well, and honestly, I was just thinking about it.
$45 most recently, range of 42 to 50, 51 over the last 5 years. 42,000 to 51,000 has been the range. It's 113 South Main Street.
Is that just, I mean, quote unquote, it's one property. I know it's one building, but is it two properties?
I don't think so.
It's now been combined as
It
one.
used to be two different restaurants, the restaurant and the Big Cafe.
And you think they put them together?
You know,
As far as you know.
With the Big Schneider for it.
So there's, but you click on
It's
that.
right next door to Big
Mhm.
House. That helps you.
I looked at it the other day on Beacon. Oh, it was like 38.
I would probably.
I think so.
And every time he does that, it's,
Fellow commissioners, I'm kind of looking for some direction from you on this. I know we're looking at the numbers and the values of the property. Would it be best to table this?
I think we need to table them in all honesty. To me, the two libraries are more important than anything else. We've already put one up there that I consider these guys a whole lot more important. And because, I mean, that affects the education of the children, different other exercises, and even some advanced education, et cetera, however way you want to put it, for the general public. And it is a true, the libraries have been proven as a true meeting the parameter of TIF money, because the TIF does include county education. Even though you're not in the TIF district, it is county education. You are, yes, I know, but I mean, Owensville's not, but I mean, in the past, we've helped Oakland City with a couple minor things in that, but libraries are considered part of the parameters of the education. And so, I mean, I would like some time to consider it and how to approach it on the monies in that, you know, for redevelopment. And I mean, I'm willing to look at it and that and bring it back at the next meeting. Because to me, they're both very viable things and involved in the education of our children. And that is something we definitely have to look at.
We provide training.
Right.
To get people on their training. We've had Johnson Controls in there for a couple of weeks. Doing
Right.
Training.
Yeah, well, I know all of you do that, you know, and I've gotten a lot of notifications even from, you know, the Oakland City Library on the things they do, and I know Princeton does too. Well, that's why it's kind of like adult continuing ed. It involves a lot of things. And when the government came out with some of the programs for basically education and how to approach because of the loss of jobs and stuff, all the libraries in the county had a lot of time invested in that too for everybody.
Just one quick, is that a two-story building?
The Parish Building,
Yes,
Yes,
it's under my assumption that's a two-story building and it's
It's
compliant upstairs.
partially two-story.
Is it compliant with the ADA upstairs?
It is, the bathroom is, and there is a very long, slow stairway that will be, it's just till one meeting room, which is the meeting room that I showed you. And we plan on putting a lift, chair lift to get up there.
Okay.
But right now, we don't need to because we've got meeting rooms and space that people can need if they need an ADA room that they can use without that.
Thanks.
That's a really great space. But there are 2 bathrooms downstairs that are ADA and all the rooms are ADA.
I agree, you gotta be compliant with disabilities act. I'm not
Definitely.
questioning that. I just wondered if there was a problem later, if you had a second story, you was gonna have a problem later.
No, we
That
won't
was
have,
my only
we will
question.
not have to put an elevator immediately, which is a huge cost.
All right, thank you.
Very huge cost. So,
Oh, any further discussion on the matter?
So you want us to go back?
well, I don't necessarily feel like you would maybe have to come back unless we have more questions or whatever.
Okay.
To me, since we have 4 branches in all years and they're kind of more complete information in that too, because to me, I wanted to kind of look at all the 2 library requests, because for me, they take a priority over the, you know, community center or something like that. And so, in all honesty, I think your monies are justified and good bang for the buck, shall we say?
We're trying to get the most we can.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay, so we have some little discrepancy here. We have, do we have a motion to table this matter and have her come forward, or do we have a different motion? Do we have a motion on the table?
well, I'll make a motion to table them until the next meeting, so we have a chance to really look over any of the changes and the information that we've got and
Very good.
move forward
On both libraries.
on both libraries.
I second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any other business this evening? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, we do have that motion. I just made it.
A second.
Never beat him. I'll second
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
that.